Trying to understand what integration is when it comes to psychedelic assisted psychotherapy? I got you. Let's get into it. Hi, everybody. My name is Jill. Welcome back to the Journey Sage. And this is the channel that I wish had been around when I was healing my PTSD with psychedelic assisted psychotherapy. And today I kind of want to give an integration 101, an entry level, this is kind of what integration is so that you can kind of understand moving forward a little bit better. So let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, I want to do a super fast overview of the entire process. And then I want to talk about the specifics of what integration encompasses. Reframing your memories, the fact that it requires a good bit of focus, and most importantly, timelines vary. And so that's kind of the basic stuff. So first of all, please remember that psychedelic assisted psychotherapy, in my case, pretty much had three components. 40% of the time was the talk therapy, setting intentions. 20% of the time was the actual psychedelic assisted therapeutic journey with the prescribed psychedelic. For me, it was like a 1 day, 5 to 8 hour thing. And then the last 40% of the time was called integration. And I know I was an English major, but I think we got to 100% there. So that's kind of the big picture. And today we're focusing on the latter half, the integration. And I want to deal with how the integration works at a very surface level 101 level. For me, I had to basically go back to my childhood memories that I had avoided for 25 to 30 years because they made my body feel bad, made me feel bad. I had to basically go back to those memories, and with the help of MDMA, the prescribed psychedelic, I was able to go back to those memories without my body in a fight or flight mode. I did not feel the physical fear that the child in me had gathered at that memory because the MDMA, and I don't know how it did it, but the MDMA basically calmed my body down. And it also gave me a bit of empathy towards myself, that I was not a child who deserved to be treated that way. All those limiting beliefs that we start to think about ourselves as abused children. We aren't enough to be loved. No one will ever love us. We're not allowed to be happy. We're too big for our britches. All of that stuff. I was definitely more empathetic towards myself, saying, hey, wait a minute, is that stuff true? And so for me, my integration, sometimes it felt like it went memory by memory. And so that's my experience of dealing with child abuse memories. Secondly, integration requires focus. One of the things I find when I talk to other people who've attempted this therapy is that they kind of expected a turnkey as soon as they got out of the psychedelic journey, that, the next half hour or something, they would suddenly be healed and, life would just be chocolate and, I don't know, ice cream sundaes. I guess that tells you what I like, right? It wasn't like that for me at all. And it took 3 psychedelic journeys for me to no longer have a PTSD diagnosis, but I certainly still had other trauma to work through. There was nothing turnkey here. And for my integration, I'm a D- meditator. I found that when I walked my dog or took a walk or took an exercise class, that's when I was able to give my brain kind of space to shut down about normal everyday life and just let memories happen. And so I basically built that into my integration, that when I would walk the dog, I would say to my brain, hey, what do you want to talk about today? I mean, that simple. So if you're a meditator, if you're an exerciser like me, if you've got if you love to listen to music, whatever it is, for me, at least, I found that I had to give the integration focus. And I would also note that I had some of the worst progress on journeys where I went to work like a day or two after the journey. I had the most progress if I gave myself like 3, 4, 5 days after the journey. And so I offer that as a possible solution for those of you out there. Basically, I learned that if I didn't allow my brain time to focus on the healing and the memories and the reframing, that it basically didn't get done nearly as quickly as it could have. And then lastly, I want to mention that timelines vary. My first integration was very, very short because, quite frankly, my inner children kind of shut down the journey. I didn't understand what was going on from a subconscious point of view, and I didn't get a lot done. My second and third journeys, though, my integrations easily went 3-4 months. And then after no longer having the PTSD diagnosis and then just simply working through trauma, I would have maybe a journey like, I don't know, every 6 months, every 6 to 8 months. Like the integration time definitely expanded. So I would encourage you to work with your brain, work with your system, and really trust when your brain is ready for another session. Because I have yet to hear anybody on the same timeline. It seems to be, from the research and the people I talk to right now, it seems to be a very personalized thing. And give yourself some grace with that. Allow your brain to work at its own pace. So there you go. I think those are the basics. It worked for me from a childhood abuse survivor at reframing my memories. I definitely had a lot more success if I gave my brain time to focus. And the timeline varied depending upon the intention, depending on the severity of the trauma. And I found that it was a little frustrating that I didn't exactly understand exactly how it was all going to work, but it's going to work on its own timetable according to your own healing. And so I hope that helps. As always, Rescuing Jill and the Companion Handbook can be found on, or workbook can be found on Amazon. Head on over to thejourneysage.com for more resources. And of course, throw any questions in the comments below because I'm here to answer your questions. And so with that, until next time, take care.